You hypnotize You hypnotize me. You hypnotize me. You hypnotize me. You hypnotize You hypnotize You hypnotize You hypnotize You hypnotize You hypnotize
And action.
Hey, Original OC with you on the Original OC channel. It is Thursday, the 16th of September 2025, coming at you on this Thursday night. Tariff turmoil in full effect. We have all the latest news. Rolex and Omega and others are set to follow in the footsteps of Patek Philippe and pass on the Swiss watch tax along to consumers. How much will it cost you? We have all the latest updates, and we have all the data, the fresh data coming out of the Swiss Watch Federation. What were the Swiss watch exports coming to the United States? We have all the hot, fresh data, hot off the presses. Let's see who we have in the chat. And we will get to your questions and we will answer all of your questions. By the way, there is a poll running right now. The poll question is as follows. If this is a hypothetical question for you guys, if, just assume it's true, if Rolex raises prices by 15% across the board, just like Patek Philippe did, if Rolex raises prices by 15% across the board, and here are your choices. A, I'll never buy Rolex again. B, I won't like it, but I'll suck it up. C, I'll pony up to play the game. Or D, I'll switch to other brands. Those are your choices. Vote in the poll. Let's get to like 25 or 30 votes. Let's get to 25 or 30 votes. By the way, upvote the live stream. It's the original OC channel. Smart Watch Talk for the smart collector. Let's see who we have in the chat. We have Vimal, who's first. Love Rolex, but don't think all their models can absorb a 15% price hike. Well, you know what? You may have to suck it up, Vimal. You may not have a choice. The latest reporting is that Omega, Rolex, Cartier, and others are ready to follow in Patek Philippe's footsteps. They don't want to lower their profits. They don't want to absorb the costs of these draconian tariffs. They are going to pass on the Swiss watch tax along to the customers. And listen, the U.S. has to pay this Swiss watch tax. And Patek Philippe, just days ago, earlier this week, on Monday, raised prices across the board by 15%. We'll go through any references that you want to review. I think the prices are quite reasonable, if you ask me. I'm Team Terry. I support Patek Philippe's decision not to absorb these costs. After all, this is a this is a tax on the U.S. consumers, and the American consumers have to pay the price. This is what we bargained for, I guess. So Vimal, get ready to suck it up, because you know what? You may not have a choice. Got MD Chaz in the chat. What's up? By the way, Vimal is a member of the OC channel. Thank you for being a member. I want to call out all the members for your incredible support. It does pay. It pays the bills. Pays the bills here, and so everybody who has a star next to your name, I really, really do appreciate it. Here's the link to become or upgrade your membership today. And basically, you should also double check and make sure you don't have a free member milestone chat. Click on the currency icon in the comments, and you may have a free member milestone chat sitting there. MD Chaz, also a member, says, some say the Swiss wanted higher tariffs and asked for 39%. Standard economics need not apply to the world of luxury and fashion. You know, I hear what you're saying. These are luxury goods. A lot of members of the community say, you know what, if you can afford to spend $50,000 on a watch, you should be able to afford spending 60,000. So suck it up. After all, this is a luxury good. Anybody who's spending 50,000 on a watch has got a couple of screws loose anyway, right? So listen, if you have that kind of disposable income, you can afford 50, you can afford 60. Pony up, suckers. These are luxury. You don't have to own these. No one's forcing you to buy them. Hey, we got Pip in the chat. What's up, Pip? And shout out to Mrs. Pip instead, or Miss Pip. Good evening. Good to see Pip in the chat. We have Ghost of Yiddish Gambino. Thanks for jumping on the panel the other day. We had a really good live stream the other day with Ghost of Yiddish Gambino and Jorn Identity on the panel. Go back and watch that one. It was from Sunday, I believe. Ghost of Yiddish Gambino says Rolex can raise prices on all steel models by 15% without issue. Two-tone and solid gold non-Daytonas will not sustain that much, but some. Hey, Ghost, you know what? If Rolex raises prices by 15%, you'll happily pay. The market will absorb it. Now, keep in mind, and just for your own recollection, remember in January of this year, just 9 months ago, Rolex raised prices pretty significantly on Daytonas. Remember, they raised the price of full gold Daytonas by 14% and full gold pieces from other collections by 7%. So they did raise prices quite significantly. I think another 15% may be in store. And you know what? We're just gonna have to suck it up. What are we gonna do? See, you are trapped. You're basically trapped buying two brands at this point: Rolex and Patek. Those are the two best brands. 99% of this audience is not playing the Richard Mille game. There are some people who watch who are playing the Richard Mille game, but they generally are pretty low key. They don't want to flaunt their the breadth and expense of their collection. I get that. And some are in the AP game, but for the most part, right now, it's Rolex and Patek and some Epijon. That's it. There's nothing else, guys. There is nothing else. This isn't, this isn't a watch community that supports buying Oris. Doesn't support buying Norcane. Doesn't support buying, Arm & Strong or Arnold and Son or any of those other brands that start with an A. Or any of those lame British brands like Bremont or I don't even remember the name. It's just really bad, bad British brands. No offense to the British, just they make terrible watches, excluding Roger Smith, of course. But listen, you're either in Rolex and Patek, or you're chasing some independence, right? And there's some good independents out there: J and Shapiro, Reshepi, Simone Brett, blah 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 blah. But 99% of you guys are not in that game. I'm not in it. Chances are you're not in it. So, Gambino, we're going to, if Rolex raises prices, you know what we're going to do? We're going to suck it up, okay? And we're going to pay the higher prices because that's it. It's either Rolex or Patek. Hey, we got Trap Vision 3D in the chat. What's up, Trap Vision? By the way, I saw that you were, I got a notification that you were doing a stream. So thought that was fascinating. Do you do streams about watches? I'm just curious. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to see it, but thank you for being in the chat. What's good, OC? Hey, it's Thursday night streaming. We got all the breaking news coming to you in the world of watches, and the tariff turmoil continues. Got Gatsby in the chat. Member. And Ghost of Yiddish Gambino is also a member. Gatsby's a member. In a Reuters piece, Nick Hayek said that U.S. customers could find opportunities in Canada to avoid tariffs. Where have you heard that suggestion before? We were having a discussion about this earlier today on a private stream, private call. I almost don't want to bring it up, but remember the Canadian connection? Remember the Canadian smuggling connection? I don't want to. If anybody remembers that in the chat, the companies that were involved and the personalities and the characters that were involved, I think the stage has been set for a massive Canadian smuggling operation to be rekindled. And I think you understand why. We can go through the economics of it. But basically, if you have companies that are based in Hong Kong, based in Asia or in Europe, to avoid the U.S. tariffs, they can simply ship to Canada, right? They can ship to their quote offices in Canada or their partners in Canada, and those partners can bring the goods over undeclared into the United States. And I think you're going to see. I bet you there's millions and millions crossing the border illegally on a weekly basis already, and we know who the characters are that are involved in that. But yes, there are quote unquote opportunities in Canada. Thank you, Gatsby, for reminding us. Got ZD in the chat. ZD is also a member. The prices are nuts, but it's not their fault. I wonder who there is. Who do you mean by there? Do you mean the brands? Do you mean the Swiss government? Do you mean do you mean us, the US consumer? Do you mean the retailers? Whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? ZD, we need someone to blame. Need someone to blame. By the way, this is open panel tonight. Open panel. So you can simply click on the link. Listen, you guys don't want to listen to me. I'm boring. Boring watch talk. You don't want that. Vote in the poll. Vote in the poll. Let me check the poll. When we get to like 25, how many? Oh yeah. Okay, cool. We already got over 25 votes. Let's get to 30 votes. When we get to 30 votes, I'll close the poll. If you just joined us, vote in the poll. If 15% bothers you, says Matthias, start collecting stamps. There's a lot of people in the community that feel that way. They're like, listen, these are luxury goods. If you can afford to buy the Porsche 911 RS, 3, whatever it is, Porsche 911, RS 3 LP, don't complain about the price of the oil changes. Don't complain about the price of gas or insurance. It's it's the price of entry. And if you're doing luxury goods, you got to pay. Thank you, Matthias. Matthias is also a member. Thank you for being a member. Hey, Father Artifact in the chat, also a member. Hey, OC, my screws aren't loose. They've completely fallen out. See, Father Artifact is paused. He's smart. Like he probably realized, you know what? I went a little bit crazy. I got the 1908. I got the Le Mans. I got all the stuff. And maybe it's time to cool it. Or maybe he's thinking to himself, you know what? Patek Philippe is the pinnacle of Swiss watch luxury. The prices are going up, but they will always go up because they're the best. And if there's no better time to get into Patek Philippe than yesterday. You should have gotten into Patek Philippe yesterday. And if you can afford it. But that's the key. That's the key. You got to be able to afford it. The thing with AP and with Patek is, remember, Patek, when you buy something from Patek, they register the warranty in your name. And Patek knows you have that watch. And if you sell it and someone else registers it, boom, you're outed. Same with the AP. AP, the first thing someone does is when they buy a watch in secondary from AP, from a gray dealer, they go to the AP website and they say, you know what? I got a new watch. Boom, and they register it. And know who originally bought it? Boom, that person is blacklisted for good. Yep, but your screws have. I wonder, Father Artifact, are you thinking about starting the Patek journey? Let me know in the chat. Who else do we have here? I think I said hi to everybody. Who else do we have? We got Jonathan Smith in the chat. It is the OC. It is I. It is I. I'm here. Check this out. Breaking news. Reporting from Rob Corder at Watch Pro. According to his sources, which can be dubious at best. No, I love Watch Pro. I love Watch Pro. They're great. Great daily emails you can get from Watch Pro. Let's see here. I'll keep myself down here. Let's make it. How can I make this a little bit bigger for you guys? I'll read this. It's hey, you guys want a nighttime story? You want OC to read you a story? Here we go. The byline is Omega and Cartier tweak U.S. prices to cover Trump's tariffs. Trump's tariffs. Authorized dealers will also have to accept lower margins to minimize the price rises for consumers. Let's read this article here. But first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to No Biggie Sal, who was one of my first members when I started this silly channel back in, I think, whenever it was. Actually, I started the channel, it was like May or June of 2024. And then I got like 500 subs, and then YouTube said, listen, we want to offer you monetization and memberships at 500 subs. I'm like, okay, thank you. I'll take it. And No Biggie Sal was signed up for membership on the first day, and he's been here ever since. No Biggie Sal member for 11 months, and he's member at the campaign senior consultant level. No Biggie Sal, huge supporter of mine. I'll always appreciate it. Guys, upgrade your memberships. It's worth it. It's worth it. This is the third best live stream on YouTube on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. There are others that are better, but you should still support this one. Campaign senior consultant, member for 11 months. The question is, when will OC raise membership costs to follow Patek's lead? We are screwed, fellas. It's coming. We're screwed, fellas. It's coming. Yeah, you should upgrade your memberships now, because chances are, and I'm not going to stop at 15%. 15% is chicken shit. I'm going to do 100%. I'm going to double prices. Why not? You guys are rich. You can afford it. Look at the quality of content here. Look at this comment, the quality of the commentary. Thank you, No Biggie Sal. Really, really do appreciate it. Let's see. Who else do we have? Andy Lewis. What's up, Andy Lewis? It's the best way to move. Yeah, it's the best way to move ragu jars across the border. That's right. Ragu jars. You guys remember, don't you? Hey, look at this. Gatsby member for 12 months. That's awesome. Member at the campaign senior advisor level. Holy shit. You know what the senior advisor level is? That's like really, really high up. Super high up. Thank you very much for all of your support. I'm going to drop in the link to the memberships here. Guys, follow in Gatsby's footsteps. Make sure you have a nice fat membership. Upgrade your membership today. Gatsby campaign senior advisor level. Member for 12 months. I remember many of the characters involved in that cross-border operation. Yeah, so do I. I knew them all too well. In other news, this Saturday is the Toronto Timepiece Show. Our friend from Cornwall, Ontario, was last spotted there at last year's event. Was it last year's event or 2 years ago? I can't remember. I think it was 2 years. It might have been 2 years ago, Gatsby. But you tell me. I'm not sure. Yes, our good friend, the ragu jar smuggler, was spotted there. All right. I'm all caught up on the chat. Omega and Cartier tweak U.S. prices to cover Trump's tariffs. We don't like to get political here. Like we're not calling them Trump. We're not calling it like the Trump watch tax. You know, it's not the Trump watch tax. It's, we'll try to be neutral here. It's the, the U.S. administration's tariffs on Swiss goods. According to Rob Corder, Swatch Group is limiting USA price rises to 6 to 10% in response to the imposition of an additional 29% tariff that took effect on August 8th. Its American retail partners, referring to the Swatch Group here, Swatch Group's American retail partners will have to accept lower margins on the higher priced watches so that the entire cost of this year's two tariff increases is not borne by consumers. Okay, so that means that they shaved the retailers' margins by 1 or 2 points max. The latest tariff rise came on top of an extra 10% imposed on imports in April, and the prevailing charge of around 2 to 3% charge for all Swiss watches landing in the United States. Swatch Group increased prices by low single-digit percentages in response to the April tariff rise, having already introduced a cross-portfolio bump in January to cover rising material prices, particularly gold and the booming Swiss franc. Unless Swiss negotiators can secure a better trade agreement before the end of the month, the total tariff on imported watches will reach around 41%, depending on the value and country of origin for all their components. Cartier and its parent company, Richemont, are also responding this month with a price rise expected on September 25th, according to Watch Pro anonymous sources, but details have not yet emerged. Patek Philippe increased prices by around 15% this week. Neither Rolex nor Audemars Piguet have responded with higher stickers since the first tariff increase in April, but looks certain to pass on at least some of the cost to U.S. customers, U.S. retailers, and consumers in the coming weeks. Richemont and Swatch Group have been contacted for comment. Omega's response will see the price of a steel 42 millimeter Speedmaster Moonwatch Professional rise from $8,400 to $9,000, an increase of just 7.1%. Same watch in Moonshine Gold and Steel, currently priced at $19,100, will be $20,400, a 6.8% bump. And Omega's popular Speedmaster 50th Anniversary Snoopy Edition will cost $11,900 plus tax from October 1st, up from $11,200, a rise of just 6.3%. So here, you've heard it here first. Breaking news: Omega set to raise prices on U.S. customers on October 1st. And rumor is that Cartier and the Richemont Group will also be raising prices, supposedly on September 25th. Nicholas N is in the chat. What's up, Nicholas? And Ghost of Yiddish Gambino checking in with a member highlighted comment. Thank you. Member for 5 months, campaign volunteer. Going to grit my teeth and pay the Cartier price increase on a few more special limited pieces later this month and October. Love me some Cartier. Yeah, Gambino is one of the biggest Cartier collectors in the community. I think he has, let's see, how many? I think 6 or 7 at least. He has a lot. I think I saw that he has a watch box. Maybe he has two open spaces left. I can't remember. Feel free to drop in a clarification in the chat. All right, let's close this poll. Let's got over 30. Let's leave. We got 33 votes. Let's do 2 more votes. Let's get to 35 votes. If you haven't voted in the poll, vote in the poll right now. If Rolex raises prices by 15% across the board, what will you do? Just assume it's a hypothetical. If Rolex raises prices by 15% across the board, what will you do? A, I'll never buy Rolex again. B, I won't like it, but oh well, I'll suck it up. C, I'll pony up to play the game. Or D, I'll switch to other brands, which is probably not that feasible because there aren't other brands that are good. So you probably won't. But maybe some of you will. Vote in the poll right now. Let's get to 2. There's only 2 more slots left. 2 more slots left to vote. And then we will close the poll. There we go. Boom, let's end it. And the results are as follows. If Rolex raises prices by 15% across the board, 60% of you, a whopping 60% of you will say, I won't like it, but oh well. You know what that means? That's called price inelasticity. That means they can do whatever the fuck they want, and you'll just take it. I won't like it, but oh well, 60%. That's the clear majority of you. Tied for second place is I'll never buy Rolex again. Yeah, interesting. I doubt it. That's 14%. Also with 14%, I'll switch to other brands. Okay. And in last place is I'll pony up to play the game with 12% of the vote. But the overwhelming majority of you voted I won't like it, but oh well. That's 60% of you. Thank you for voting in the poll. The poll is now closed. Those are the results, and the results are binding. All right, I'll drop the link to the panel, and here's what I'll do. I'll pin the link, and I'll link the pin. Boom, pinned at the top of the chat. By the way, check this out. Yeah, check this out. This is the watch data, the Swiss watch export data for August 2025. This is fresh off the presses, guys. Fresh off the presses. And man, the numbers are not good. It looks like the industry is about ready to do some severe contraction. Severe contraction. Shipments to the United States down 24% year over year. Now, keep in mind, they were up 45% last month. They rammed a bunch of product into the United States in advance of the tariffs taking effect. But some of these other numbers don't look good at all, particularly China, down 35% year over year. Look at that from 2 years ago, down nearly 40%. UK down 20%, Japan down 22.5%, Singapore down 14%, Germany down 25%. I'm telling you, this the Swiss watch industry is. We could have a rocky rest of the year. A very rocky and uncertain rest of the year. And by the way, these Swiss watch, these tariffs on Swiss goods may completely change the balance of power between official retailers and the gray market. What effect will these price increases have on the gray market, guys? If you want to jump on and share your thoughts on the panel, let me know. Some say that prices are not going to be affected at all, and then there's some others that say that it'll inevitably lead to increases in secondary prices. The prices on certain pieces of the last 3 to 4 months have been fascinating. Aquanaut is way up, Nautilus is up a little bit, and Epijourne is through the roof. And then there's some select Rolex pieces that are also up. But other than that, everything else is down. Everything else is down. Will those models continue to go down? Or will they come up? That is the question. That is the question. I mean, if you assume that Rolex prices are going up another 10 or 15%, some of those watches are going to be very fascinating because the gap between the secondary price and the retail price will be quite considerable. But Patek has managed that for quite a while. Big gaps between the retail price and the secondary price. They seem to do just fine. From a pure price perspective, sport pieces can increase 15% because the secondary value still leaves you with full value retention or better, even with the 15% added on. Yeah, the question is, will secondary prices go up, and by what percentage? For example, if let's just pick a piece that goes over retail, like a Batman. Let's say you buy a Batman or a Batgirl for 11,000. Let's say it goes to 13,000. Yeah, it's still be profitable because it's worth 17, 18, 19,000 in secondary. So people aren't going to bat an eye at that. But maybe something like a date that goes from, what is it, 44. Let's check out let's go to Rolex. Let's go to rolex.com. Let's check out some date prices. And let's just play a game and assume that the dates are going up by 15%. Date 40. All right, let's pick here we go. Wow, these are already kind of expensive. 47,500. All right, so let's assume that this goes up by 15%. Guys, do the math. What's the math say? I'm going to use my trusty calculator here. 47.5 times so let's say it's 54,000. 54,000. Will you buy it? And will the prices in secondary rise along with the increases in retail? I love these dates. Look at that. Rose gold chocolate Roman. That's a beauty. That's a beauty for sure. And people forgot about this one. This is the what do they call this one? The Academy Awards one. Beautiful watch. I don't know. I think prices are gonna go up. Will they go up in secondary? Gambino says he has 8 Cartier watches plus cufflinks and other jewelry and sunglasses. I was right. I think I said 8 or 9. Vimal says they ramp up production in June and July to ship in August, but since they sent it all to the United States in July, that's right, and the first week of August, I believe, they don't have that much to send over this month. We will see a spike in September data. I'm not sure if you will. I mean, maybe these guys will cut production. That's a good question. Should they cut production? All right. That's a good question. New poll question. Should watch brands cut production? I know some have said that Patek should cut production a little bit. They raised prices pretty significantly. There's some models that are kind of soft, for lack of a better term. Some of the Calatravas, just cut production a little bit. Don't make as many. Maybe that'll help. Ryan Singer in the chat, reminding everybody to upvote. Upvote the live stream. Hey, look at this. Gatsby. Awesome. Boom. $10 highlighted comment from Canada. It's much easier for a brand like Patek that only makes 70,000 watches a year and caters to the sweatiest buyers. I love that. I love autocorrect. I think that might have been intended to be wealthiest, but in this case, I think it still works. The sweatiest buyers to ignore secondary prices. Rolex, Cartier, Omega, et al. Won't have it that easy, in my opinion. Maybe they will, though. Maybe they will. I mean, take a look at some of the awesome pieces from Patek Philippe, like this gorgeous 6159 retrograde perpetual calendar, one of the knockout hits, one of the stars from Watches and Wonders 2025. Beautiful white gold, grand complication. Now, this is reasonably priced at at 142,000. See? So listen. Yeah. It's much easier for a brand. Yeah, that's right. It's a good price. It's a fair price. Fair price for such an incredible watch. Thank you, Gatsby. Appreciate the support as always. Vamal with a flamingo blue highlighted comment from Canada. Are you hearing that 80s in New York are having trouble selling? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Those brands have been slow all this year. And Breitling, JLC, Panerai. Yeah, they've all been slow. Hublot, Grubel Forsey, all across the board. Tudor is a disaster. By the way, the watch charts, which I'm not a big fan of watch charts. I don't really, rely on them for analytical data. But watch charts named Tudor the most affordable watch brand, and by affordable, they mean it loses so much value that it's the most. It's like the lowest price watch to buy. See, we cover Tudor news here. But yeah, but that was the way. That was like a backhanded compliment. It said Tudor is the most affordable watch brand, and the criteria they use to determine most affordable is based on the percentage of value that it loses as soon as you buy it. It was the biggest number. But yeah, 80s are having a tougher time. But every time I say that, people say, "Well, what do you mean by tougher? They're still selling everything that they. The other jobs are a little bit harder, but they're in sales." Of course, their job is tougher. By the huge shout out to the Archie Luxury live stream for transferring the viewers over. If you just joined us from the Archie Luxury live stream, welcome. I don't know how many of you came over, but I don't think there's very many crossover, to be honest. But thank you anyway. Maldives in the chat, member of the channel. When times are tough, they make better watches. Looking forward to see what they release. Yeah, that's right. I'm pretty underwhelmed with what Vacheron and AP have done this year. I mean, I understand AP did the new perpetual calendar, and then they introduced a bunch of women's watches, but nothing really in the Royal Oak. New dial colors. Nothing for us normal people. Patek hit it out of the park this year, and Rolex, which is why this channel supports the crown and the cross. Yeah, but Patek is doing very, very well. Great watches. um, Diego M in the chat, not a member, by the way. Read into that as you will. OC, my AD had a grand opening party for their new Patek boutique. Want to know how it went? So do I. Humbling. Listen, if I complained every time I wasn't invited to one of my 80 things, I'd be I'd be whining and bitching all day long. I'm never invited. Never invited. I'm not invited to the holiday party. I buy Pateks. I'm not invited to my Patek dealer's holiday party. Well, what do you want me to? I'm not invited to my own Rolex ADs, receptions that they throw out. They throw, on Thursdays every month. Nothing. I get nothing. I don't get hats. I don't get umbrellas. And I don't get invited. So listen, you're in the same club as I am. Gatsby again with another highlighted comment. Thank you very much. $5 Canadian. Just my experience, but most of the Patek buyers I've met through my authorized dealer are generally oblivious. Hey, this is a good point. Oblivious to the secondary market. They simply don't care. They don't care. Not only do they not care, but they don't, it's completely invisible to them. They don't even know. It's like they go to buy a car, they go to the Porsche dealer, they go to the BMW dealer, they go to the Mercedes dealer. They don't call up one of these fucking, they don't go to a used car lot, and say, "Oh, hey, do you have any Porsches here?" They just don't do that, and they don't go on Instagram and find a social media dealer like this fucking Manny guy. Yo, it's Uncle Manny. Yo, I got it. It's all available. It's here. The ADs are lying to you. Get the fuck out of here, you fat fucking ignorant prick. The ADs are lying to you. It's all available. They're selling out the back door. I got it all. Get the fuck out of here. I mean, rich and successful people, the overwhelming majority of them, and Gatsby here is confirming that most of those people that buy Patek, they don't give a fuck about these guys on TikTok. Oh, well, I have watches. Who gives a fuck what you have? This is Patek Philippe. I want to buy it new. They don't care about saving 5,000, 10,000. Now the issue is like if you're like a watch enthusiast and you're like, hey, I really like a, perpetual calendar split second chronograph or whatever the fuck it is, and those are now selling for 280,000, and you can get them secondhand for 140,000 or 130,000. Yeah, now we're talking a real difference. That's a difference. But if you're talking about 5,000, 10,000, these Patek buyers, most of them, according to Gatsby, don't give a fuck about some guy on fucking YouTube, myself, include me in there, spouting off and talking about, oh, like, yo, what are you wearing? These fucking lame videos. What's on the wrist today? Hey, I'm a watch YouTuber. What are you wearing? Oh, nice Cartier you have there. Can I see it? Fucking awful content. By the way, I will be doing a live stream soon on the 3 worst YouTubers, and I will be relying in large part on your voting, because if I don't want to get in trouble all by myself, because I've got a list a mile long of the worst YouTubers in the watch space. It's a long list. There's nobody good anymore. How come there's nobody good? These guys are terrible. Fucking producer Michael is awful. All these new guys are awful. There's these fucking clowns on 47th Street. Absolute fucking clowns. Said it before and I'll say it again. All these brands are going to have to pare down their catalogs. That's a great point, ZD. Not only cut production, but also have fewer SKUs. There's no reason to have so many SKUs. Good point, ZD. And Diego M agrees. Yo, I got a guy. Yeah, come to me. I got it. They're all lying to you. Get the fuck out of here. He wins the award for most annoying fucking new YouTuber. That's exactly right. Oh, see, successful people want the convenience, exactly, and security, yes, of going to an authorized dealer, and they tend to prefer the new watch, that new watch smell. That's right. They don't want somebody else buy someone else's secondhand goods. Secondhand goods. They don't buy fucking used watches. What is it? They don't go to fucking garage sales to buy watches. They go to their jewelry store that they've known for 20 or 30 years. Yeah, it's about effing time that somebody did a worst watch YouTuber. I did one a couple of years ago. I did the OC Awards. I think 2023 or 2024. I can't remember. C. Martine, why is that Daytona your thumbnail? It is the garbage of your collection. I wouldn't call it garbage. The thing is, like a lot of people, for a lot of people, that's a grail. You know, and so I don't want to ridicule it too much. You know, I mean, for most people, this watch here is like a grail piece. They wish they could get this piece. Now, for people like me and Buckley, you know, Diego, Boston Collector, MJ, you know, Rose, this watch is like, you know, it's like the watches that we have, like I have a platinum date. Buckley's had everything, you know, Sky Dwellers. He's had AP codes. He's got a Patek 5396. He's had, the Bruce Wayne. There's a lot of stuff. Boston Collector, obviously, tons of APs and Richard Mille. Jeff, of course. Jeff has the Le Mans, Patek, other stuff. And to them, this watch is a joke. You know, but I do realize and I understand and appreciate that for many people, like the 99% of the watch community, actually, I'll say it this way: 99% of the watch community who watch other streams, right? And this audience is a whole different level. You guys are in a whole different level than, I mean, no one's here, you know, showing off their fucking Casio collection. McAllen Drinkers in the chat. Member. If you have a star next to your name, you are a member. Membership does have its privileges. OC, do you still have the Pepsi, the root beer, and the Sky Dweller? Sky Dweller, no. Sky Dweller was sold to the Wizard. Sky Dweller was sold to the Wizard in 2022. Root beer is one root beer that I had was traded for the White Dial Daytona. So I bought the White Dial Daytona with the root beer. I traded in the root beer and I got the Daytona for free. CPO. So I sold the root beer to Rolex CPO. And the Pepsi I still have. The Sea Dweller, yeah, I still have the Sea Dweller. But the Sea Dweller is gonna go. Sea Dweller is too big for me. If anybody wants the Sea Dweller 43 millimeter, let me know. But I'd love to sell that to Bucherer as well. I'd love to sell that one to Bucherer and get the trade-in value, and I'll buy something else. I'm gonna be trimming my collection down. You know, by this spring, you're gonna see a lot fewer watches in my collection. I just redid my insurance, And I spend over $5,000 a year just for my watch insurance. So, and I don't insure everything. So, like, some, like, I don't think my Sea Dweller isn't insured. My Omega Seamaster isn't insured. My Zenith isn't insured. But everything else has to be insured, even though it's in the bank, it's in the safe. You never know. Good question. Easy Ease in the chat. OC, have you ever dealt with Betteridge up in Greenwich? No, I have not. I have not. But they have a very, very good reputation. Mike Manjos, who works for the 1916 company, started his career at Betteridge. But if anybody in the chat has an opinion on Betteridge, type it in the chat. Buchra does a great trade-in program, says Ghost of Yiddish Gambino, with the 20% premium to trade versus sell. That's what I did with my root beer. The root beer wasn't getting a lot of risk time. I traded it in to Rolex, and when I sold it to them, they gave me the Panda in return, and they gave me a Tag Heuer for my father-in-law for free. So I got those two watches basically for the price of the root beer. I think it's a pretty damn good trade. If you asked anybody, would you trade a two-tone root beer for a white dial Daytona? I think it's going to be 99% yes. Speaking of asking people stuff, look at this. The poll is closed. Should watch brands cut production? 50% say yes, 50% say no. Wow, talk about evenly divided. The watch community is split. We are on the verge of a civil war, a revolt. Yeah, and from time to time they have very good prices on certain I don't see the good prices on CPO pieces, to be honest. I have yet to come across some good CPO prices. But the trade-in program is phenomenal because now they lowball you a little bit on the trade, but then they give you 20% on top. And then when you trade the watch in, you're buying another watch, you only pay sales tax on the difference. So it's a big, big cost savings. Basically, I got like 17.2 for my root beer, I think, something like that. And the Daytona was less than that. See, the Daytona here on this here is 16,000. I got 17.2 for my so then they threw in like a $2,000 Tag Heuer. That's right. Yes, OC did buy a Tag Heuer, but it was basically free. And I never put it on. I gave it. It was for my father-in-law. He was with me. He was with me when I picked up the Daytona. Let's see what else has happened. Holy crap! There's 50 people watching. Shout out to the 41 people watching on YouTube. We've got 5 on Grindr, 1 on Twitch, and 1 on Tinder. What's up, guys? If you're the one guy watching on Tinder, drop a comment in the chat. This is the original OC channel, Smartwatch Talk for the Smart Collector. If you're watching the football game and you have us on in the background, that's cool. We like multitasking. We support multitasking. If you got the football game on, you're watching. Who's playing tonight? It's Thursday night football, right? You can watch the game and listen in to the OC channel at the same time. Nothing better than that. The soothing sounds of OC while you're watching the football game. Hey, Matthias is watching for MySpace. Oh, I forgot about the one MySpace viewer. Thank you, Matthias, for confirming. So you type in the comment in MySpace, it shows up right here on the live stream. Boom. Let's see. I mean, I'd like to buy another Rolex, but the truth is, like, I got them all. I got them all, baby. I don't think there's anything else I need. What should I get? I don't have a Submariner. Do I need one? No, I don't need one. That's the problem. This is the problem, man, with the Rolex. I got everything, right? I got everything. Oh, I don't have a land dweller. Yeah, but do I want one? No. Land dweller, day date, already got one. The day date I'm going to send in for service as a nick on the bezel. I'm going to send it in for service. I'm going to get rid of some watches, guys. I'm going to sell some watches. You guys know what I have in my collection. You probably have a good sense of what I'm selling. But I need to. I got a $5,000 insurance bill. I easily have like 100 to 150,000 of watches that I should have that I shouldn't have. Right. I have way too much in watches. So yeah, I'm gonna part with a few pieces. Consolidate. I'm gonna consolidate. Green ombre, baby. The green ombre. Let's check out the green ombre. The Sky Dweller is a dog. Sky Dweller is an absolute dog, right? Except for steel. Steel's good. So the day date. Let's configure a day date. The green ombre is yellow gold. Boom. Fluted bezel, of course. And here we go. The green, yellow gold, green ombre day date. That is a good one. Good choice. 44,200. Let me ask you a question. Hypothetical question, guys. If that were 50,000, if that were 50, not 44, would you still buy it? God, the green, the bright green, the green lacquer one. It's pretty cool. Which one do you prefer? The full green or the green ombre? Get a 1908. No, no, no. With a Satimo bracelet. Nope. No, 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 no. I've got a Patek. I've got a Patek for I've got two Pateks. Check it out. Check this out. Yeah. Oh, a big screen? Should I big screen myself? Yep. Patek weekly calendar, the 52 12. 52 12. There you go. In the flesh with the steel deployment and the black calf skin. Check it out. Yeah, so I got plenty of watches. Way too many watches. So you tried on Nicholas N says he tried on the Satimo. Nice. I bet you it felt very comfortable. It's a great looking watch, that's for sure. Hey, Patek Chris, what's up? What's happening, OC? What's happening with you, Patek Chris? Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, I got two Pateks, and I'm on my way to the third. You want to see which one? I'll let you guys pick my next watch. How about that? You guys want to pick it? All right, let's do it. You guys are gonna pick my next watch. Here we go. It's easy. I'm on my third piece. So let's see. I have a complication. And I have I have two complications, I guess, technically. A weekly calendar and an annual calendar. So that qualifies me easily. What the hell is going on here? Boom, to buy a Nautilus. right? Simple as that. That's right. I bought 2 watches already, so we're going to buy the Nautilus next. It's easy to do. Let's see what they got for me. 5726. Should I get it? Nah. What else do they got here? Slim pickings. There's slim pickings here for men. Let's go to. Let me use the find your timepiece thing. Collection. Find your timepiece. That's kind of like their configurator. Collection. Oh, men. That's right. I want men. And let's go to Nautilus. All right. Here are my choices. You guys can pick my next watch. Which one should it be? That's it? These are all my choices? Fucking A. This is tough. Which one should I buy, guys? You guys are the experts. Patek Chris says, my third Patek I ever got was a Nautilus. There you go. I'll be getting one too as my third watch. Okay. Look at 5270 1R on the bracelet. What is that? 5270 1R. 5270 1R. Is that a Nautilus? Nope, not a Nautilus. Forget it. Not buying that. I'm not buying it. Let's see what else. 5326G. Is that a Nautilus? Nope, not a Nautilus. 5326G is not a Nautilus. Let's see. 5712R. Okay, let's buy it. Let's buy it, guys. I'm going to buy it right now. Just buy it online. I'm not the biggest fan of the 5712 layout of the dial, but let's take a look. Let's open this. Let's take a look at it with fresh eyes, guys. Fresh eyes. Let's take a look. Okay. But, it's got the brown dial, brown gradient. It's not bad looking. It's pretty sexy. Rose gold. It's thin. It's got a moon phase. Ooh, it's got a nice micro rotor. It's got Patek striping. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. How much is this thing? Let's see how much it is. Inimitable style. Inimitable. Interesting choice of words. Inimitable. Guys, what's the definition of inimitable? Can you look that up? Inimitable style. The famous Nautilus with date, moon phases, and power reserve indicator radiates sporty, elegant harmony, combining a rose gold case and bracelet with a brown sunburst dial featuring a black gradient rim. The asymmetrical arrangement of functions on the dial gives the watch an original and unique appearance. Yes, it does. I agree. And it also gives it a unique price tag of $106,838. This was like this was like 97,000. 5712R. All right, I'll buy it. Sold. Thank you, Vilmol. 5726 is the last deal. Not yeah, but I already have an annual calendar in white gold. 5740. Okay, let's buy the 5740, guys. Oh yeah, the white gold perpetual calendar, micro rotor. Oh man, this is sexy. I would have loved it if that bottom dial was a little bit smaller, but I get it. It's okay. It's a sexy looking watch. Perpetual calendar. And this one is only 194,000. 194,754. Mazal. Let's do it. 194,000. That is a very high price. Very high price. It's good to see Maldives in the chat. Maldives is a great supporter of the watch community. I really do appreciate his support. Jen G's in the chat. Also wants the 5740. Okay. Maybe inimitable means, quote, we won't sell you this. Get another Calatrava, you plebe. Very interesting. It means can't be imitated. Inimitable. Try saying that 10 times fast. Inimitable, inimitable, inimitable. Very interesting choice of words. Who was the guy on the marketing team who said, you know what? Let's make sure to say it's inimitable. No, this is a great, great watch. Great, great watch. Oh, look at this one. Here's an interesting one. I see the 5822 in your future. Now, the 5822 is a cubitus. And it's not just any old cubitus. It is the platinum cubitus with the grand date, and the moon phase. There's the diamond at the 6 o'clock. It's a baguette diamond as opposed to a round diamond. This, when it first came out, was 88,000 when it was introduced last year. October of last year, this was introduced. It was 88,000. The new price, the current price is 107,000. What the fuck? That's why I'm telling you guys, like the best time to get into Patek is yesterday. These prices are only going up. Now you thought, hey, you know what? You were on the fence. You're like, you know what? Maybe I won't buy this. And you could have gotten it for 88. Now it's 107. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you. This is just, these prices are high, but what choice do we have? Right? I mean, the prices are high, but what choice do we have? That's really what it comes down to. All right, guys, I'm getting bored of talking by myself. I'm going to drop the link. This is your chance. Jump on the panel. Let's talk tariffs. And let's choose our next Patek Philippe. We'll choose it together. I'll buy one Rolex and I'll buy one Patek. But I also have to get rid of some pieces. So like bear with me. I got to get rid of the Sea Dweller. I'm going to be sending the D-Date in for service. I got to get the Texan in service. I got some stuff to do. Hey, look at this. Gatsby with a comment here about the Cubitus. To be perfectly honest, despite my best effort, I still haven't warmed up to it. How about you, OC? Oh, man, it's just. The thing is, by the way, what's fascinating here is I'm looking at the Cubitus collection. I have men checked. If I check ladies, If I choose the ladies, I mean, it literally says gender, ladies. For the 40 millimeter cubitus. If I choose men, it's not there. So there you go. Patek doesn't. I mean, they're not PC at all. Like AP and Rolex, they don't have like men's. They don't have something that's like men's category and ladies category. I don't think they do. Maybe they do. But these guys, these are the ladies cubitus, and these are the men's cubitus. No, I mean I haven't warmed up to it either. There's certain people in the community where these watches will look really, really good on them. You know, like the steel green dial. That's a manly, manly watch. Originally, I liked the two tone, but I think I liked it because of the blue dial, and I also liked it because that big bezel is all gold, the bezel and the wings. But really, the wings are too. The wings, those ears. Nah, I can understand people who haven't warmed up to it. I think people settle for it because they can't get a Nautilus, right? Um, People settle for it because Patek wants you to think that it's impossible to get a Nautilus. Patek Chris, by the way, where are you located? What area? I'm interested in the Sea Dweller 43. How much are you asking for that $75,000 watch? I'm not going to ask 75,000. That's way too high for that. But it has the diver extension too. Did you know that the Sea Dweller 43 that they discontinued the diver extension? Australia at the moment. Are you there on vacation, or is that like, do you go back and forth? People will settle for the Cubitus because Terry Stern is slowly discontinuing one Nautilus and Aquanaut after another. That's a very good point. Um, Gosh, I mean, if I scroll down here and I choose steel, Nautilus, Cubitus, Aquanaut, okay, this is it. That's it. This is it, folks. Are you shitting me? Out of all three of the sports collections, the Sports Elegance line, which includes the Nautilus, Aquanaut, and Cubitus, there are only 6 steel watches. It's fucking over, guys. Absolutely over. This is it. These are the watches. These are the only steel sports watches that Patek makes. Yeah, it's impossible. Of course, it's impossible to get one. Look at this. I just wow, Gatsby. Good observation. There for work. Cool. Any steel Patek is special. Yeah, I know, but I don't think I want steel. I definitely don't want steel. I've tried on steel Nautilus many times, and the bracelet feels cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Cheap Chinese bracelets. I would want gold. Yep. Sorry, but I want gold. Easy E in the chat says, OC, question for OC. Would you trust some of the West 47th Street dealers for a Rolex? Trax is down there, obviously. They're good for gold bracelets, and necklaces, etc. But a Rolex? Would I trust them? You don't have to trust them because depending on the Rolex that you want, you should be able to get that from an authorized dealer. So, no, I would not. Here's the politically correct way of saying it. I don't have to bring into the issue of trust. I don't have to bring in the issue of trust because it's unnecessary. Unnecessary for you to go to 47th Street for a Rolex. Unless you have a very special reason. You're looking for a discontinued watch. You're looking for a special configuration. Let me know. But Easy E, tell me what Rolex you want, and we'll help you get it. We'll find the best source. But I would say generally steer clear of 47th Street for 99.9% of watch purchases. Have I bought watches on 47th Street? I did buy one watch, believe it or not. I bought my full yellow gold oyster quartz date from 47th Street. And, but when I bought it, I said, listen, is this thing 100% authentic? And they said, yes, it is. I said, because keep in mind, I'm going to walk this straight from here. I'm going to walk it up 6 blocks up to Rolex Service Center. And it's going to get authenticated and it's going to go in for service. And they said, yep, go for it. And I bought it. And I think I paid like $10,700 for it. Pretty good price. And everything was authentic except for the crystal. So they replaced the crystals, like $160. Had it serviced. But generally, no, don't go to 47th Street for Rolex. If you want a chain, I'd probably call a couple of the guys in Miami if you want a chain. Prediction time from Vimal. The Steel Nautilus and Aquanaut will be gone within 6 to 12 months. Well, that would be interesting because the 5164A is gone. So all that's left is the 516A and then that chronograph, which is a super desirable chronograph, the one with the orange hand in the Aquanaut line. The Cubitus, there's only one, the green dial. And then you have 3 left in the Nautilus line. One of them is on a strap, though. And the other is you have the 5726 annual calendar. And then you have the 5990. It's slim pickings for Patek Philippe. Hey, America 5726 upvoted the stream. Thank you for upvoting. Upvote the live stream, guys. Let's check out the lives. Let's check out the upvotes. Let's do it. That's it. That's pretty shameful. Really, I would expect like 4. I would expect 35, at least 35 likes. That's sad. You guys are sad tonight. Listen, a lot of times I don't call you out. This time I got to call you out. Weak showing, guys. Weak performance. Except from No Biggie Sal, Gatsby, Ghost of Yiddish Gambino, and Vimal. Those, you guys are members who super chatted or had member milestone chats. I trust gas station sushi, which, by the way, can be very delicious and economical. More than 47th Street watch dealers. Yeah, they're annoying. They are annoying, and I'm not going to say they're untrustworthy. It's just, but some of them are unnecessary. Some of them are unnecessary. Who chooses the direction of the second hand in the pictures that? Who chooses the direction of the second hand? In the pictures. That must be quite difficult. I don't know. Who chooses the pictures of the second hand? I think it depends on if there's a subdial. I don't know. I think there's a general rule. Let's see what else is cooking. I mean, I only talk about Patek and Rolex for the most part. Oh, guys, have you guys seen the new? I know most of us here can't afford it, but my good friends at Richard Mille just dropped two new bangers. Two new bangers. The 3001 in blue quartz TPT and in black ceramic. Let's see if I can, boom. Let's find out how to actually get to the watches. Boom. Yeah, look at that. Nice. That's a hot new version. Looks like it comes with a gray strap here. This is one of the best ones. One of the best Richard Milles. I don't know how much these cost. Here's the new black ceramic version. Boom, black ceramic. It would be cool if they gave you a whole bunch of those different like rubber things to put over the crown so you could have different colors if it was easy to like take off. Does anybody know if you can take those rubber things off the crown and like change them? Like you could have like I'd have an orange one and I'd have a white one. I'd have a gray one to match the strap in orange, then I'd have the blue one. Let me know in the chat if you can interchange those rubber crown things. But yes, cool to see Richard Mille launching some new watches, and these are cool ones. That. What else is happening in the watch world? Anything else? Anything exciting? All right, let's do this. Guys, jump on the show. It's 10 p.m. on the East Coast. That's 7 p.m. West Coast time. I'm not sure what time it is on Australia, but jump on the stream. The link is pinned at the top of the and upvote the live stream. There's over 50 people watching. Come on, upvote the live stream. Even the lurkers. No, there's some lurkers out there. The least you can do is upvote the live stream. The black one's cool, but the blue one is even better. I think these are probably like how expensive are these, you think? How much are Richard Milles? I think it's like 200, maybe 250. Could it be 300? Could this be $300,000? Could it? Expensive. But great watches. Are these by the way, are these new ladies watches from AP sinking in yet? Like, how do you feel about them? These. Check out the new women's watches, the women's perpetual line from AP. By the way, today is National Hamburger Day in the United States. National Hamburger Day. Pick up your double cheeseburger from McDonald's for only 50 cents. That's right. Thank you, Matthias, for the reminders. Gatsby says they discontinued 2 steel Aquanauts and the 5712 in the last 6 to 8 months. Terry Stern, by the way, I'm Team Terry. Terry Stern wants to replace those lines with the Cubitoid. The prices of the Aquanaut on the gray are just through the roof right now. Absolutely through the roof. Are there any of these that I like? No. The thing is, I'm not a big fan of steel. Why not get white gold? Why not? Let's look at white gold. Now we're talking. These options are so much better, don't you think? You've got the 5811, which is very affordably priced. You've got the 5168G. That is just a time only, but it's in white gold. Then you have the travel time, the new travel time, which is the gray, the grayish blue, blue gray. You've got the chronograph, but that doesn't come on a white gold bracelet. Then you've got the perpetual in white gold. White gold, you got some good choices. For me, I don't think any of those do the trick except for the 5811. Yeah, only the 5811. Really, you'd have to look at rose gold. And here you got some great options as well. Yeah. I mean, this one may be the one that I end up getting offered. This is the 5164R, which is the Aquanaut in rose gold with the travel time. It's the same as the 5164A, except it's in rose gold. Do I love it? I mean, it's okay. There are a lot of people who have the travel time. Travel time's cool. Diego has a travel time. 78,000. It's only 78,000. $78,000. Blow this up a little bit so you can see. Wempe is expanding its Patek Philippe space, but losing Rolex end of year. Yeah, they've it's a great news from Wempe. They are going to be expanding their Patek Philippe showroom to 1,600 feet. It's going to be, they're going to have their own entrance on Fifth Avenue. It's going to be amazing for Wempe. Shout out to the great people at Wempe. I believe it will make Wempe the destination for Patek Philippe in New York City and the entire Northeast. The brown dial on the rose gold looks a bit dated, says Gatsby. I think it might be time for a dial color change. I'd be all for that. I'd be all for a dial color change. I mean, they're so boring, these color choices. What third Patek have you asked for, OC? I'm not sure if I'm going to reveal that quite just yet, but because I reserve my right to change my mind, and let's just say that I'm pretty sure that I will be getting another Patek next year, but I don't know which one. So it's tough. It's tough. But I have the green light for another one next year. America bringing the hot gossip. 100% price increases across the entire Rolex line. October 15th. You heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first. $90,000 day dates. Because if you can afford 45,000 for a day date, you can afford 90. Logan Hall's Grill Streams is in the chat, and Buckley is in the chat. Wow. They're multitasking, watching football and listening to the live stream. What's up? The game is getting harder, guys. The game is getting harder. You have to be very, very skilled to win. And assuming Rolex increases prices considerably in the very near future, that game is also going to be quite difficult. Going to have to be quite skilled and talented to navigate that game. Is it still doable? With Patek, is it still doable? That's a good question. Let's do a poll question. Let's do a poll question about Patek Philippe. And here's the poll question. Okay. It's going to be a very controversial poll question. Does the Patek Philippe AD journey still make sense? Boom. There is your question. I want everybody to vote in the poll. Interpret the question how you like, but the poll question is up. It's live. Does the Patek Philippe AD journey still make sense? I'm Team Terry. I'm a huge fan of Terry Stern, as you know. I think he's a great leader, fantastic executive, very knowledgeable, just a great overall executive. Huge fan of his. I'm Team Terry. Hashtag Team Terry. So I think raising prices was the right move. Listen, it's time to punish the U.S. consumer. I was gonna like elaborate on that, but you can't really do that without getting into like political talk. So I don't want to get into political talk, but these Swiss watch taxes must be borne by the consumer. We're not gonna take lower margins. And most of the people who complain about Patek Philippe prices, honestly, they're not Patek customers anyway. So fuck them. Terry, you and I are in agreement. Most of these people who complain about Patek Philippe prices, they aren't even Patek Philippe fans. They're detractors anyway, okay? Hey, Dr. LM is in the chat. What's up, Dr. LM? It's good to see you. There's so many great people in the chat. I got to say, this is the best audience in the business. It's really the audience that makes these live streams so important. Certainly not me. I mean, I'm terrible. I'm terrible, but you guys in the chat, this is obviously the highest quality audience that you're going to find anywhere on Watch YouTube. Dr. LM, top guy, absolute top guy. I'm voting yes. Yeah. By the way, after you vote in the poll, please type in your explanation. Please type in your explanation in the chat. I'm voting yes. If you have the dollars, it's a great brand to climb. Thank you, Vimal. That makes sense. It does make sense. You have to now. You need a lot of dollars in order to play the game, but it's and by game, you know what I mean. You know, listen, you want to be a loyal Patek Philippe customer, you got to pay. It's like saying I'm going to collect. What do you I mean? What's something expensive that people collect? I mean, I don't know. But watches, if you're a watch collector or a watch enthusiast, watches aren't cheap. If you decide, listen, I love Ferrari. I'm gonna have a Ferrari collection. Well, you get ready to pony up. I hope you have a couple million at least to get started. Because once you buy 2 or 3 of them, you're in the hole. Hey, Patek Chris also voted yes. I'll check in. Let's see how many people have voted so far here. Let's get to at least 20. Come on, guys. There's 50 people watching. 50 people watching. How is that even possible? I bet you, like, most of you guys are overwhelmingly watch people. So vote in the poll. Vote in the poll. Diego M., would you like to read your own comment, or do you want me to read it for you?
No, you don't have to read that. That's fine. It's just a joke.
It's a joke. Whole Milk decided to join us. Go collect Seikos. There's low tariffs on Japanese goods. That's right. If you're a watch collector, you have alternatives. You could buy Casio. You can buy Norquan. You can buy Christian Ward, and a bunch of other like low tier brands. Oris. You can buy a bunch of bad Omegas if you want to. But listen, you should don't go overboard with buying the Omegas. You should have like one great Omega in your collection. And for most people, that should be a Speedmaster, right? And it doesn't even have to be a new one; it could be a vintage one. But you get your Seamaster or your Speedmaster and be done. Now, like people like there's certain people who like buy Omega after Omega after Omega. It's like enough already. But lots of listen, you gotta go with the cross. You got to go with the crown, and that's it. If you watch this channel, it's cross and crown. You want to go collect Seikos, go a lot of other live streams where you can watch. What did you think of, by the way, this? Check this out, Diego. Oh, I'll go back to this.
Okay.
I go to find your timepiece. Okay.
Yeah.
This is like all of their watches, and I go to mix, and then I say I want steel, and I'm going to choose Nautilus, Cubitus, and Aquanaut.
Okay.
This is it. Like the entire sports lineup of Patek in steel of six pieces.
You know what? That's probably par for the course. I mean, if you go back historically, there's only ever probably been at any one time in the catalog 6 pieces, honestly. I mean, take out the Cubitus and put the 5712 back in. Nobody counts the 57 or 5167 on bracelet. So, you know what I mean? And you also had 5980, but that was, I believe that was replaced with 5990. So at any given time, there's really been the same amount of steel offerings from Patek. So I don't really see that as an issue. I think everybody's hurt that they did get rid of the 5712. That sucks.
Yep.
Yet they
And
left us with.
the 5164.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
Is the 5712 on the leather strap still available, or is that completely gone as well?
That's gone.
I think that's gone too. So yeah,
Yep.
anywhere from 6 to 8 steel pieces was always the norm. Um, I wanted to answer your question though about is the Patek journey worth going on?
Yep. By the way,
And
vote in the
there's,
poll. The poll is live. Let's get to 25 votes. We'll get to 25 votes. We'll end the poll. So we have room for 2 more slots here.
I think it's completely based on the person. I'd say for most people, no. If you're being responsible with your finances, the answer is no. Um, if you have money to where it doesn't matter that you can find the piece cheaper elsewhere, then yeah, I think Vimal said it best. You know, if you've got the money, it's a great place to have a journey. I mean, think about new releases. Everybody wants new releases. Well, if you're a long-standing customer, you're setting yourself up for success. But again, I mean, let's answer this question. How many watches do we have to have, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is an actual journey? Is a journey having 30 pieces from one brand? So it's like, what is a journey with Patek? I think a journey for 9 out of 10 people is truly just achieving your end goal piece, whether that's a sports piece or that's a minute repeater, what have you, right? So let's set aside the people that are crazy and are like, oh, I need to have every Patek ever made, and I collect these like I collect baseball cards, and those people I don't really exist in big numbers, and I don't think we really know any personally in our community. So let's just focus on the people that are trying to get their end goal piece. I think 9 out of 10 people, maybe 99 out of 100, no, the answer is no. It's financially irresponsible to do it. It's going to take more time. There's no guarantees. There's 1 out of 100 people to where finances don't matter and it is kind of fun because there is that mystique of maybe tomorrow is Christmas Day. But everybody else, just buy your end piece on the gray market. Um, there's nothing wrong with trying to get your gold piece from the AD, but don't buy stuff that you don't want to get to that piece. That's how I feel about the journey. I mean,
You use the term irresponsible.
yes.
You say financially irresponsible. Do you mean just financially? It's not financially advantageous to
No,
go the AD route, but you actually mean irresponsible.
what I mean is if, for me as an example, right, it would be financially irresponsible for me. Forget secondary market prices, right? Forget how much can I get if I flip the stepping stone pieces. For me, in my financial position, how much money I make, like let's be black and white about it. What I make a year, it would be irresponsible for me right now to go buy a $45,000 6119, and then 6 months from now, a $135,000 5320, and then a year from now, great news, Diego, your Nautilus came in, and oh, it's 2026, 2027. It's actually 80,000 plus tax. That is not a responsible thing for me to do. I know there's a lot of people that do really well in the community. For them, maybe they can swing that. But I think a lot of the people that are in our community, they're plus minus 20% of where I am, the majority. And then you have your outliers, right? You have your big collectors. So when I say financially responsible, I don't mean you're going to lose your ass on the secondary. I mean, what are you doing with your money in your life? Your people are going to drop. potentially $200,000 to get a piece they can buy right now for 120 today, guaranteed. I think you can spend your money better ways, more responsibly, more ethically. Spend it on your family, pay off your wife's student loans, um, remodel that kitchen, take your family on a vacation. I think when people start buying pieces that they truly don't want, it shows weakness. Um, Now, having said that, if you can afford it, you do whatever you want. Like, no one's going to knock you. If you're a baller and you buy a 6119 and a 5320 at the AD, and someone comes up to you and says, you could have got that at Joma Shop for like 30%, 40% off, you just pull out your black card and say, I don't give a shit. This is nothing to me. That's fine. But if you're on the fence about, oh, I really want a Royal Oak, and then when Royal Oak start approaching retail pricing in the secondary, I don't really need a Royal Oak, then you probably shouldn't be playing the game. And I finish it with this, with the caveat of, there's nothing wrong with trying to get your gold piece. There's nothing wrong if you want an Aquanaut going into your AD and asking for the moon. Stranger things have happened. If you really want a Sprite or a Batman or whatever is your first Rolex, ask for it. It doesn't hurt to ask. But just don't fall into the trap of these ADs causing financial ruin in your life because of a friggin' wristwatch.
Don't let them pressure you. And there's peer pressure as well. Like, don't let peer pressure or the prospects of a journey allow you to do anything that's fiscally or financially irresponsible, because it's like gambling, right? You get hooked on the high. There's gamification involved. It's a challenge, but it's such an expensive
There's levels
proposition.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's levels to it. When we, as a collective community 3-4 years ago, remember, I mentioned, let's just take me for example. I make a certain amount of money. Can I go on a panda date, on a panda journey? Sure. 3-4 years ago, whatever. Who cares? Right? You get a date just, and then you get a Submariner, and then you get I don't know, a Yacht Master, and then and next thing you know, you get a Panda, and it's like no one got hurt, right? Whatever. But when you start entering Patek, it's tenfold. It's a higher level. I mean, think about entry level Rolex. It's an OP. It's like $5,000 plus tax. Add a zero to that for Patek. You're $50,000 entry level, and that's one piece. And what people don't consider is when they go to these ADs and they get in with their first piece with Patek, do you think you're the only person that has bought a watch from them? And like all of a sudden now you're next in line for a Nautilus? No. There's guys that have bought three,
Hundreds.
four pieces that are
There's
still waiting.
hundreds of people. Yeah.
But here's the thing, with the sales associates, they don't let you know about that for the most part. Oh, we're so happy for you to finally join the family, and let's look forward to continuing this relationship with you and having you as a lifelong customer. Be careful.
Question from Patek Chris. He says, "What is the end goal piece, though, Diego? I thought the thought of a grail or an end of collecting piece terrifies me and my prolific disposition."
Everybody has at any given moment an end goal piece. For me in college, it was a Speedmaster, right? That was it. If I was able to get a Speedmaster, I won in life. Then it became a Coke. Oh my God, if I can get it. Like your end goals change in life. So I'm not
Mhm.
necessarily saying if you're like for me, 5712 I would consider end goal. But in 10 years it might not be, and that's okay. But what I'm saying is it's okay to focus on your current end goal and understand that in 10 years and 5 years, you'll move on from that. You don't have to say this is the last watch I'll ever buy, but I just think a lot of people in our community going on the journey is irresponsible financially. You're going to lose out on time. This is a multi-year process. And the big one is that there's absolutely no guarantees. And we talked about on your last stream, your sales associate could leave, the store could get shut down. You may lose your job and have to move cities. Now you
Yep.
don't have the
And
relationship. There's so many variables outside of your control that you have to figure the risk versus reward of, do I just buy the watch gray today and be done with it? Or do I take a journey that has 17 different doors that I have to choose which one to go down? And a lot of times I don't have control on which door opens.
I've heard you say before that, and I think this is a fair point. And then this may rub people the wrong way, but I think it makes a lot of sense. When you're talking about Patek Philippe, to a lot of people, they wouldn't be buying the watches that they're buying if they weren't aspiring to get a sports piece. Even though,
Precisely. And
you
yeah.
know,
And to reiterate that, and again, I preface this with saying I know there's someone in the chat, and there's going to be someone that says, well, I don't care about the Nautilus and I don't care about the Aquanaut. Good for you. The other 99 out of 100 people, if they buy a watch from Patek Philippe, I would love to poll people leaving the Patek Philippe dealers. Congratulations, you just bought your first Patek. How do you feel? Oh, I feel amazing. That's great. So, is this the last Patek Philippe you'll ever buy? Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, great. What's next? What would you hope for next? 99 out of 100 people will have a sports piece on their list. I guarantee it. And if those sports pieces weren't available, would they be going in and spending 115,000 on a two register chrono when they can buy it today for 60? I think not. And if they would, I would highly suggest that they do a little bit of research prior to buying.
well, there is a certain segment of the customer base that just won't buy used watch. They just don't even think about it. Like there's new Ferraris, there's new Porsches, and there's used Ferraris and used Porsches. And even though I mean, maybe it's a bad example. Let's say a used car in general will sell for 50% of what the new car will, the retail price, and after 3 years or 4 years or whatever, there's still people who are saying, you know what, depreciation be damned. I don't want to buy someone else's problems, or I don't want to buy a car that somebody else drove. I'll buy it new.
Mhm.
There are a certain percentage of the population of the watch market that will pay that premium for buying it new. I don't know if it's not. I think it's more than 1 out of 100. Is what that's all I'm
I
saying.
I agree with that, but we have to look at the discrepancy in pricing. So, $100,000 BMW from the dealer. Can you buy that car with 500 miles for 80,000? Sure, right? That's only 20% difference. Okay, fine. You want to buy it yourself from the dealer and spend the extra 20,000. Good for you, whatever. But when we're talking 100, like the 5320, that's 135 out the door. You can find that watch for 60. We're talking $95,000. At
Mhm.
some point, this integrity of I don't buy anything pre-owned, if you're responsible with your finances, it kind of just has to go out the window. Like at some point, the whole playing the card of I don't buy anything used, you end up looking like a fool. Like people won't respect it. And if you respect yourself for spending an additional 95,000, you've got bigger problems. Like that's not. Is it a flex? Again, if you're a Sentai millionaire or whatever, and you can do it, again, no one's going to have an issue with that. But if you're just, if you're a me, or if OC, if it's you, you know, and you didn't have a sports piece in the wind, I think a lot of people will be saying, "What are you doing?" Like 53.96. OC, you could have got that so much cheaper. 52.12. Oh my God, you could have got that for 20,000 cheaper, right? But
Mm-hmm.
there's something at the end of the rainbow for you, so it's different. And you have a very different case that I don't think has been talked about publicly, and we won't talk about it publicly. But a lot of people don't have the same circumstances that you have. So for a lot of people, it is a risk. There's no guarantee.
Three end game pieces in Ghost of Yiddish Gambino's mind. The 5270 1R, that's I believe a two-tone. Is that a two-tone?
I don't know.
And there's an overseas ultra thin skeleton, white gold, blue accent perpetual count. These are all huge pieces. AP Royal Oak 15510, white gold, black dial.
Oh, the black dial's nice. Yeah, black dial Royal Oaks are. I think that's as good as it gets.
So sorry, rose gold, black dial. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Those are all attainable today.
Plus 40 Cartiers.
Yeah. Like this watch on the screen, beautiful watch, right? Amazing. Yeah. But you really take it on the chin when you buy this from the dealer. Really take it on the chin.
I remember when I announced, I think in 2023, that I was going to be looking at dress watches. And I always said that I liked the inline calendar.
Mm-hmm.
And I always liked this one too. This is a perpetual calendar, but I also like the inline as well.
This is a beautiful piece. This watch actually wears really well.
$125,000. $125,000.
Yeah.
This was 99 not too long ago. Maybe it was like in the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think, God, you can do a lot with 135.
Yeah.
Like this is a prime example of, okay, why did you buy this piece? Well, I was told I can get a Nautilus next. Well, just buy the Nautilus, dude. Are you going to keep this after you buy the Nautilus? Probably not. Okay, well, it's not a guarantee you get the Nautilus. So, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Do you think that a lot of people should be going on the journey?
I mean, starting the journey is tough. I mean, the thing with Patek and AP is, and I mentioned this earlier, they don't really want you to flip your watches or sell your watches. So if you think you can start the journey and with only 70,000 of working capital, and no problem. I'll buy my first Calatrava and then I'll sell it at a loss. And then I'll buy the next one and sell it at a loss. And then I'll buy the third or fourth. It's like, you can't do that. You have to buy and hold, buy and keep. I mean, you should be buying watches ideally that you actually like,
Yeah.
And if you're not, and you're going to get rid of them, but you have to wait 2 or 3 years to do that. It means there's going to be 200,000 or 250,000 that's sucked up just in Patek, not counting other watches that you may have.
Now, what kind of person should be spending $250,000 on wristwatches, OC?
Well,
where should you be in your life to where you're doing that responsibly?
Well, It's a leading question because you should be much later in life or extremely wealthy. You should have a very big net worth. But even then, the opportunity cost is very high. If you're plunking $250,000 into watches, at 250,000 is not going into, uh, you know, an investment account for your children's tuition, or it's not going into, buying a house or whatever. It's like the opportunity costs in this game are so high. I've talked before about, like, if I hadn't to put 300,000 into watches or whatever I did, that money would probably been $1 million by now. There's no amount of appreciation of watches that will make up for that kind of opportunity cost. You have to be very wealthy and be able to say, listen, I'm giving up X, and know exactly what you're giving up before you start this stuff. Otherwise, to go back to the point that you made at the very beginning, it is very financially irresponsible.
You know what it is? We get tricked with, I mean, let's be real. Huge dopamine hits, huge bragging rights. You feel like a king when you are finally allocated the hard to get piece, right? And that is, it's kind of like a false flag that you trick yourself or you lie to yourself that, oh, it's totally fine that I bought my third Rolex, at the age of 27. That's totally fine because what's coming next is a Pepsi that is 15,000 retail and it's worth 25. That's $10,000 OC. Meanwhile, in those 2 to 3 years, you've dropped 50 grand when the market's going up like crazy. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, when you get your Pepsi and you're technically up 10 grand on that one particular watch and you feel like you won, that exuberance of getting that watch, the excitement, the flex, the whatever it is, the bragging rights, it casts this giant shadow over the reality, which is you missed out on investing that money, or you missed out on amazing vacations, or you could have put a huge chunk down on your mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah. America 5726 asks, is there a genuine argument to buy any Patek at retail? I mean, any Patek at retail from the AD. By the way, America, most people don't know this about America. You've probably seen his name in the chat, and you've seen him on the panels for years and years here. The guy doesn't have very many watches. He's one of the smartest and shrewdest watch people in the space because he's actually not a collector.
Most people don't.
He's the gunslinger. Most people do not know this about him. He's had Pateks, he's had APs, he's had Rolexes, but you know what he does with them? He's not emotionally attached.
Yep.
And he may be one of the shrewdest people in our watch community because he's a very mysterious figure to most people. But he's very rational. He's probably one of the most rational and emotionally detached from the whole, watch collecting part than anybody in the space. And that's to his credit because he knows he doesn't lose money. He puts his money into things that really matter. And it's not a surprise, Diego, that this hobby is a 99% male hobby. I mean, we
make the money, right?
It's that wasn't really my point. It was that.
Oh, my bad.
We make the money, but also, like, we have these weird hobbies where we rationalize the cost of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But if you actually put it through the financial calculator, a lot of it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but it's probably the least irresponsible hobby. You know what I mean?
Owning a boat is far more expensive. Yep.
Yeah, boats, cars, Pokemon cards. figurines, whatever it is, like
Cause.
clothing.
Yep.
There's a lot of people that are so into shoes and clothing. The shoes, I can kind of understand because, like, oh yeah, these are super rare, but you don't wear them. You don't get to enjoy them like watches. And the clothing, people spend exorbitant amounts of money on clothing that I don't know that was it financially smart? What do you get out of it? What can you get out of it besides just someone saying, oh, wow, that guy's wearing a really cool shirt? Okay, I guess that's
Yep.
something. I don't know.
I
So
think
it's
there's,
not the worst hobby.
yeah, I think there's, I mean, and there's a reason like there's a reason why most gamblers are men too, right? It's like they get sucked into, I think guys can get sucked into this rabbit hole without their eyes wide open.
What's that expression? Something about it. Your eyes glaze over or something like you can't see the fog through the trees. Like I said, people just see they get hyper focused on I can get a panda or I'm gonna get a nautilus or I'm gonna get an aquanaut or I'm gonna get a jumbo. And like that reward is so worth it to them that they just have blinders on and they don't realize that achieving that is a detriment to them. Like yes, it's great, but it's going to kill you at the end.
Let's end the poll. Let's see how many. Let's get to 35 votes in the poll. If you just joined us, you just hopped on the stream. Does the Patek Philippe 80 Journey still make sense? You could be the last person to cast your vote, and then we'll close it out. Room for one more vote.
I say the journey makes sense for 1 out of 100 people. Everybody else, just be realistic with yourself. Look in the mirror, ask yourself, is this the right thing to do? Be humble.
Yep. The poll
And
is closed. Hold on. Let me do the results. The results. Does the journey make sense for Patek Philippe? 83% of you say no. 83% say no. Only 17% say yes.
how many people voted?
35. We had 35 people vote. So it was okay. Statistically significant.
Yep.
PG's in the chat. PG is a massive collector. He says, let's see here. There is truth to that. If you're buying correctly, this hobby risk can be mitigated to a degree. I don't know.
See, that's the thing.
He bought two. He bought two Gerald Charleses.
Let me retract something I said. I said earlier that it's one of the least irresponsible things to do, and primarily it's because retainage of value. But the difference between watch collecting and, say, collecting Pokemon cards or baseball bats or sports memorabilia is the dollar value is so much more with watches. Like if you buy, I don't know, baseball cards. Oh, I spent 3,000 on baseball cards this year. They're only worth about 1,000. Okay, you're down 2,000.
Yeah, you don't lose that much money,
right? And everyone's like, "Oh my God, you lost 60%. Are you retarded?" Okay, fine. Go buy two Pateks. Oh, I only lost 40%. Cool. You also lost $90,000. You know what I mean?
Let's be honest. Most of the people who are playing around with baseball cards or Pokemon cards, they wouldn't be. They'd be laughed out of a Patek Philippe salon. They wouldn't even be allowed in.
You think? Some of them get jobs. Oh, humbling. But so yeah, I mean, it is. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the most irresponsible hobby out there. I just don't know. And here's the other thing about this hobby: it never ends, right? When you buy a boat, sure, that boat depreciates, but you bought a boat. You didn't buy 3 boats a year.
Right.
You know, you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of that boat.
Yep.
When you
I think
have
the thing about the
50
watches is,
watches in your collection,
yeah, and
okay,
you wear it once every, you wear a watch once every 77 days. It's like,
right.
what the fuck, Yeah.
Oh, this is my going out to dinner once every 2 months watch. It's like,
It's a fucking joke, isn't it? It's
well,
ridiculous.
yeah, I mean, you buy a crazy Patek dress watch and you tell yourself, this is going to be my black tie event watch. This is going to be my going to the opera watch. This is going to be my dinner watch. And then your wife says, I feel like Mexican tonight. You're not going to wear this
You
to the
can't wear a
Mexican
Patek.
restaurant.
You can't wear a Patek to a Mexican restaurant.
You're going to
That
bring your
doesn't make sense.
Submariner. You're going to bring your
No.
Submariner. You're going to
No,
look in your,
I'm
maybe
going to bring
next
my
time.
Mexican watch is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. I'm going to bring this watch to Watch Time New York. And I'm going to wear it one of the nights. You know what I mean? Like, be
Listen,
responsible.
this is the only hobby that when you win, even when you win, you lose.
You lose. Exactly.
it's like even all of us have the spreadsheets. Like, hey, remember that time I got the Sky Dweller? I got Sky Dweller and I sold it. I bought it for 17. I sold it for 30. And then I also got this one. Yeah, you won many, many times, but in the end, we all
lost.
lose. We all lost.
Yeah. Big time.
This hobby doesn't. Listen, maybe the friendships and the camaraderie that you've made are
It's worth it, maybe? I don't know.
No, I was going to say maybe it's a facade. Maybe what we're doing is enabling each other to be irresponsible. And the peer pressure, the pressure to outdo the next guy, or it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I have a dinner coming up in October. And we've all done it. Like, I'm going to go to my AD because I'm going to tell him, like, hey, well, I'm going on a trip or I'm going to a dinner in 6 weeks. Any chance I could get a new watch? You know how lame that sounds? Like, you're going to need a new watch to go to a dinner with your friends so you can show them a new watch? Why not just fucking go to dinner and enjoy each other's company without having to flex?
Yeah. It's we've talked about it in our groups that getting the watch from the AD carries some provenance over if you just bought it gray.
Yeah.
They chose you. They wanted you to have that means something. And I think it means so much more than we fully understand, because people are still willing to go down this path that I think we can all agree is not the right path. It just isn't.
Yeah. I mean,
Think,
Hall, by the way.
yeah.
Go ahead. Logan Hall,
No,
I was pressured to buy a sub. Yeah, it's true. It was peer pressure. The guy had a tutor, and I made fun of him day after day after day. Not him specifically, but yeah. Do I feel guilty that he had to get rid of a tutor and a Zenith and exchange it for? No, actually, no, I don't. It was a really good move on his part. Yeah, smart move. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tutor was garbage. Let's be real. I mean, okay, listen, I don't feel bad about that. That was a good thing. So the community could be a force for positive change, just like that.
Yeah.
Flamingo Blue highlighted comment from Vimal in Canada. Will the friendship last if you stop the journey? We talk about this sometimes too, Diego. I think sometimes these streams, we talk about watches, but really the power of the positivity on these streams is the way people, everybody in the chat and people on the panels, the way they kind of, I don't want to sound sappy like they care about each other, but there are a lot of interesting personalities. Everybody knows everybody in the chat. People know what's in their collections, and it kind of brings everybody together in a positive way. Yeah, if the journey stopped tomorrow and people aren't buying tons of new watches and maybe there aren't as many unboxings, this community would still be as powerful and as positive as it's always been, because it's about the quality of the people. I mean,
Yeah, it's you know, we all met through watches, but I think that's just one thing of many that we are very like-minded in. So if you take the watches away, there's still 16 other things that we can gather around and talk about and have fun. And so yeah, I don't think
Yep.
I think they will continue.
Yep.
It definitely adds, people getting watches. It's still exciting. We rally behind that and we get excited and we
And
strategize and share frustrations and
we're
share
still getting them,
victories.
and we're still
Yeah.
getting watches. I mean, a lot of the people, people were very successful at getting watches, and that's I think people like that. They like to see people win. They like to see people be successful.
Oh, yeah. No, like some of my favorite moments. I mean, obviously, if I get a win, it's great. But when you see someone else that really deserves it and it happens to them, you can't help but just be over the moon for them. So, and I mean, in regular life, outside of hobbies, okay, your coworker got a new truck. Oh, interception! Holy crap! You know what I mean? Like, oh, he got a new truck, or oh yeah, we're moving to a new home. Oh, that's great. You
Mm-hmm.
know, but like when someone calls you and it's like, guess what? It's like, what's up, man? You know that thing I've been trying to get? Yeah, I just got the call. You're like, oh my God. Like it's totally different. I can't think of many hobbies. That's the great thing about watch collecting is that it is kind of like a lottery system. And, maybe collecting Pokemon cards. Oh, I found the rare Charizard special edition, whatever. But like if you're into boating, it's no victory when you go and buy the boat or the jet ski.
No.
You know what I mean? Like the only thing that I can think of similar is like I got an allocation for a special Porsche,
Right.
So
It's a unique set of circumstances for sure. That is how we ended up being tossed into this process. I'm not quite sure. Everyone ended up here differently. I was a COVID collector.
Yep.
This channel only works because we're a group of elitists that's harder to get into than an AP dance party. Yeah, it's hard to listen. Membership has its perks. Part of it is, to have a social club of people sharing their experience, because a lot of times our family members don't give a shit about watches. My family hates watches. Your wife is supportive, but she's not going to sit around and talk watches with you.
No.
And that's why it's a great opportunity for us to kind of, come together, talk about things that nobody else in our family will talk about. All right. Let's give someone else. Let's give anybody who wants to jump on a chance to hop on the panel, join the panel. The link is also pinned at the top of the chat. It's almost 11 o'clock, so we're not going to go on for that much longer. So if you want to hop on and talk about whatever you want to talk about, you could talk about Swiss watch exports. You could talk about Patek. You could talk about Rolex. What if Rolex prices went up 15%? Diego, do you think Rolex would start to have some of the problems that you think that you ascribe to Patek in terms of the journey? Or is it, does the Rolex collection there's so many good pieces, there's so many great watches that you can get. There's most of them are still very affordable. That even 15%. Okay, something goes from 12 to 14, a whoop-de-doo. Something goes from
Yeah.
20 to 25. That's okay. But the thing is with Patek is it goes from 68 to 78. It's like
The thing with Patek was before the increases, we were already discussing how they weren't worth it at that price. You know, with Rolex, I mean, like you said, it's a smaller hit, so it's like okay, whatever. Like, this $100,000 journey is not going to cost me 115. Okay, whatever. But I don't know that they will do it. I think they are a little bit wiser than Patek. Patek, I feel like, did this emotionally. I don't think it was because they were hurting. Their bottom line wasn't really being impacted. They saw an opportunity to say, oh, tariffs? Like, knowing full well that this isn't going to be forever. Fine, boom, here you go. And it was only to the United States. I think Rolex can see a little bit further into the horizon. And because here's the thing with Patek, what happens when the tariffs are reduced or removed? They're not going to drop their prices.
nope.
I think to Rolex, if they're going to have slightly reduced revenue because of tariffs, they would rather receive that impact than have to raise prices, upset millions of customers, and then upset them even more when the tariffs get removed and they don't drop their prices. Patek Philippe, they have upset people once right now with this 15% increase. Watch how mad they get when the tariffs are rolled back and they don't drop prices. You will see revolt. And when Rolex doesn't increase their prices because they're patient and they're thinking far into the future, and the tariffs get removed and their prices stay the same, they're going to look like kings. I think Rolex is a brand of the people. I think Terry Stern hates Trump, and this was a very petty and emotional decision by the brand. And it's going to hurt them. It's already hurt them. It's going to hurt them even more in the future. Just watch.
Very, very good point. And it will be interesting to see if Rolex does play it cool and they wait it out a little bit. They say, listen, Patek made a move here. Maybe it wasn't as well received. It wasn't well received by their U.S. customers. Maybe we don't do anything just yet, and just let this play out a little bit, because we don't want to reduce prices. We don't want to have to do increases then repeat or have to explain why prices are so high.
Check this out, OC. Who did Rolex buy last year?
Last year, who did they buy?
They bought a big company, right?
Oh, Bucherer.
Okay, and what does Bucherer sell?
Yeah, they sell watches and jewelry.
And which brand, privy to this conversation, does Bucherer sell? Patek Philippe.
Well, they only have three locations. They only have 3 locations that sell Patek Philippe, so it really doesn't impact them at all.
No. But what I'm saying is, you don't think that when they bought Bucherer that they got access to the books and they were able to see all these multi-6-figure pieces sitting and not being sold, and think, oh, these guys just increased 15%. That's not going to work. And not just Patek, all these other brands, JLC. I think Rolex has access to a lot more data than people give them credit for, and they think a little bit more strategically about their increases. And I mean, we saw it when they did their increases. They were very tactful about it. Titanium up 3%, precious metal 5 points, whatever it was. It wasn't just willy-nilly, screw you, America, 15%.
Yep, definitely there were some things that they could have done to handle that increase differently. And I think that when you watch the Swiss intelligentsia talk about the U.S. administration, they definitely do have disdain for the policy towards Switzerland and the tariffs. But this was, this is the problem when you have Terry, in a way, Terry Stern doesn't have enough, I think, great advisors around him to help him navigate some of these decisions. There's a way he could have done this that was a lot differently, but he didn't.
Yeah, I said it on the last stream. The way that they could have done this was customers in the United States. You guys make up 38% of our sales. For that, we thank you. These tariffs have impacted our bottom line, and for us to continue operating at the level that we have and to provide the level of service and craftsmanship and quality for the time being, we will be increasing our pricing 15%. Should a deal come through, we will go back to our October 2025 pricing, retroactively, and there you go. And I don't think anybody would have looked at that and said, these money hungry bastards, these short sighted people. They would have said, okay, we're the ones that put the tariffs on. They're a business. They have a right to not lose money in a market simply because of a tariff. You know what I mean? So nobody would have been like, screw these guys. Would they have said, that sucks, the watch I want just got more expensive? Of course. We said that with Rolex when they did their increases, but we also understood why they did their increases. So they totally blew it. But I think the reason they didn't do that was because if they put the blame of the increase specifically on the tariff, which it's obvious that's what it was, if those tariffs get removed or rolled back, they have egg on their face if they don't drop the prices. And they don't want to drop the prices. That's the thing. They want to increase the cost. It's the AD's responsibility to sell the watches, not Patek Philippe's. And there you go. We're not going to drop our prices. Why would we drop our prices? We're Patek Philippe. They really screwed it up.
Very good points. It will be fascinating to see what happens over the next few months with September heading into the end of the year. How will things change? We thought that a lot of these things would happen faster. The slowdown with these other brands, and it's almost like Patek wants to exacerbate a slowdown. I don't know. It's just all confusing. It's all confusing to me.
I'd be interested to see, the viewers, if you guys get offered, cold call offers on Patek pieces, let us know. That would be, because recently, you guys were in the city and there were pieces available. That's, I've never, there's been maybe one or two times where I've been told this is available right now, right? One or two times in 4 years. And you guys are experiencing it now in the biggest market, the most difficult market to get Patek, and they're just saying, you should really buy this now because it's going up in the next day. That's a sign of weakness.
All right. Watches wisdom according to Diego, which I think is very valuable. I don't know. Let's do this. I'll drop the link to the VIP after show. I know there's a lot of people watching, but listen, guys, it's getting late.
Yeah, it's 11 o'clock.
Guys, yes. Here's the link to the after show. Boom. And we're going to kill it. That's it. You want to jump on the after show? Jump on. On behalf of Diego and myself. Thank you, Diego, for jumping on. Upvote the live stream and type in a comment. If you're watching this on the replay, leave a comment and hype the live stream. Hype the live stream. Leave a super thanks. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
See ya.
See ya.